notes. The Board of Zoning and Adjustments of the City of Decatur is now in session. Here before the Board of Zoning and Adjustments today, seeking special consideration to an ordinance based on special conditions, or the literal enforcement of an ordinance will result in unnecessary hardship for you. There's been an error in the enforcement of the ordinance. It will require 4 favorable votes from the board to approve any request presented today. Please come forward when your name is called and state your name, address, and what you would like this board to do. All cases will be called in the docketed order. Once your case has been heard, you are free to leave. Please call the roll.
Elaine Dean.
Here.
Jeremy Goforth. Here. Tom Cole.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Mark Kirk.
Here.
Are there any corrections to the minutes of the last held meeting?
Yes, looking at members present, I think we're missing one. Mark McCurry should be added to the members present list.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes with the requested changes?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Please call the first case.
Case number 1, application Bill Goswell, Covenant Church, for a 9.1 square foot area variance, section 2577A1, and a 1.3 foot height variance, section 2576A1. Property is located in at 601 Memorial Drive, located in the R2 single family residential.
Good morning. Carl Willingham, 601 Memorial Drive. And excuse me, I just had braces put in, so I'm talking kind of crazy.
Ow.
But Carl Willingham, 601 Memorial Drive, Southwest, Church, God's Love Covenant Church. We're wanting to get a digital sign put up. And the sign, the specs and everything on the sign meets the requirements. But we have a lighted sign with our church name that's going to put us over. It's what we're here for. And he probably will tell you better.
Holt Miller with Suntronics LED out of Rogersville, Alabama. We'll be, doing the install and supplying the sign. Basically what the gentleman just said is if they do the square footage that's allowed just for the LED, then the top cabinet would put them over the allotted square footage. So the lighted top cabinet would put them over the square footage. Now the lighted top cabinet is going to be lighted all the time. The LED, they can control it and set it to whatever the requirements are. I know that's close to residential, that area, but I know there's some certain schools in the area that have LED signs that with their lighted top cabinets, I think go over a little bit of the square footage, and we're wanting to request a little bit of leniency just to get that top cabinet in there so that they can have an LED big enough to get the message for the church out there. They'd be able to turn, if y'all wanted it to turn off at, 6 o'clock at night, it can be programmed, and they can adjust it to that and come on at a certain time in the morning, so that way it's not affecting the residential area.
And I said this too, also, I mean, we're not just wanting it, just a sign, have a sign. I mean, if you're familiar with the area and you travel down Memorial Drive, you'll see, I mean, we're constantly putting signs out, the stuff we do for the community. We're trying to get, message out on what we're doing. And this right here would help us a whole lot to do ministry work.
So
Questions for the board?
the 48 by 96, is it an industry standard size? I mean, why can you not accommodate the size?
Well, the step down would be really, a small, it'd probably be like a 3x6 or a 3x8. And what he currently has out there, it's just sitting, I think it's just 4x4 post and a 4x8 sign. So it would meet the same size of that, and then the company or the church logo would take him over the allotted square footage. So the 4x8 meets the current standard, the city standard as far as total allowed square footage. It's just that lighted top cabinet, which is a 2x8, basically lighted top cabinet, is going to put him over the total square footage. And we're just asking, could we throw that lighted top cabinet in there?
So digital signs are in standard sizes, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
It's this big, this big, this big.
Yes, ma'am. It's whatever size. Usually we come, or I'll call the sign ordinance for that city and say, hey, this location, this address, what's the largest they can have, so I can go back and bid. And sometimes If they're looking at a 4x8 and it puts them at that threshold for total square footage, well, then it's like, I gotta go back and say, hey, sir, you know, your lighted top cabinet's gonna push you over, so you've either gotta go smaller on your LED and maybe even smaller on your top cabinet, or if the city offers a variance meeting, we attend the variance meeting and ask for permission to please add that lighted top cabinet on top of the existing, what would be the existing LED and go over the total square footage allowed.
And as far as the lighted sign, you know, I'll say blame for that. I didn't know, you know, you had to meet these kind of standards when we built the church. Because on the church, I just have the initials GLCC. It don't have the full church name. That's why this lighted sign would be very important for us to get.
I just have one thing to mention, in that the application was filed, you're the representative of the church, but it's owned by the Gillettes, and I think it would just need to be a condition that the owners, if there's some, I don't know if you have a lease or how it's owned and leased, but just to make sure the owners they give permission for this before, so that if anything that they grant, they just show permission for it.
They do whatever. You just tell me what we need to do.
Okay. I have a kind of a follow-up to my original question. So what I'm hearing from you, Mr. Willingham, is that if you went down the size to the next industry standard size, you would not have enough room to get your message across, the church's message out there.
He can probably tell you more about
Yes, sir, the standard in the industry, which, you know, what we sell the most of are 3x8s and 4x8s. If you condense down to like a 2x6 or a 2x8, then you're not going to be able to get as much as a message out there. So typically schools and churches, 4x8s or 3x8s, and it's just smaller you get this way and that way on that total square footage, the less message that you can get out there. And you know, when you got a big church like that with a big congregation, they've got a lot of message and opportunities to give to the community. And so obviously we'd like to get them, you know, the biggest opportunity to advertise for their church and community.
So that was basically a yes or a no. So
Yes.
that would not be a sufficient size, is what I can deduce from that.
If they went smaller, I would not believe so, sir. I believe
Okay.
4x8 would be the.
Well, just where I was headed was that you mentioned that you could eliminate some of your other temporary signs if we granted this.
right.
You could do away with some of the temporary signage. You're on a corner lot, and
Yes.
it's traveled a lot, so appearances do matter, and that's why we're dealing with setbacks today. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
where
putting them signs up probably 2 a month. I mean, and I actually have to go buy a sign, put it together, then put the sign out there, then break it down, put another one.
Sure.
You know, it's just,
This is going to be aesthetically more appealing than what's currently out there. Because currently, right now, you've got 2 4x4 posts with a 4x8 wood sign, and then you've got other signage that are like banner signs. So aesthetically, this is going to look even better for the community, because it's going to be one metal pole, or 2 metal poles on the end, 4x8, and he's going to do some brick columns around the pole. So it's going to be aesthetically more appealing for the community than what's actually been already previously approved.
yeah, and it'll be 1 sign opposed to 3. You know, I
Sure.
had 2 signs and then my church sign. Now we just got 1 sign that's giving the message, telling you what we're doing, giving you the church name, everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
No comment.
Comments from the planning department?
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
There's be a resident, you know, it needs a residential neighborhood. Be a resident, you know, so be aware of the neighbors, and you want to be in the name, so.
Yes, sir.
Based upon Gillette's. You decide.
Okay.
I'm saying you want to be satisfied.
Right.
And if the city's got a set ordinance on when it's, if it needs to shut off, then we can pre-program and teach them how to program it, where it will shut off at that time and come on the next morning at 5:30 a.m., 6:30 a.m., whatever the ordinance would require. So that it's not disturbing any neighbors.
Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I second.
We need to make the motion.
And make,
Let's make it with condition.
Just put that one.
The owner just gives them something
Yeah.
in writing saying they,
Yeah, we'll just approve it temporarily based upon you getting that from the Gillettes,
Get it from who?
the owners of the property.
Yeah, I need, what you want them to do, they need to do right now.
Just something in writing from them to that go to the building department.
Okay.
Just saying that they are good with the sign
Okay.
being outside of the village.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
to,
we need to submit that with that.
No.
Well, we need to submit that with, when we apply for the permit.
Let's give them a 6-week deadline, or this variance, if it's granted, go away.
Okay. I'll get it to you ASAP.
okay, so let's restate the motion with all of that in it, just for the record.
Make a motion to approve, subject to condition we get a letter from the owner within 6 weeks of the approval date, stating they're in agreement with this sign.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Elaine Dean.
Yes.
Jeremy Goforth.
Yes.
Ron Paul.
Yes.
Chester Ayers.
Yes.
Mark Curry.
Yes.
You have been approved. One
Thank
thing
you
to
very
note,
much. Appreciate that.
your church name is spelled wrong on your sheet.
Oh, which one?
So don't put a covenant
On the graphic,
on the graphic.
on the little drawing you gave me.
When we
So-
submit the permit,
So when you do your cabinet sign, get them to spell it. Spell it, I don't want you to have them misspell it.
Definitely, that would be good.
No, that wouldn't. That one you can't just type in and change it. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Have a good evening.
Case number 2, application of Francisco Hernandez for a 4.35 front yard setback variance from section 2510.82C to construct a new single-family dwelling, 35.65 feet from the property, front property line located at 3705 Montclair Road Southwest, property located in the AE Agricultural District. Frank? Frank's not here.
Move it to the end of the agenda.
Move that one to the end and we'll call it again.
Case number 3, application bill MMDC for a 8.8 rear yard setback variance from section 10.10.2D and a 4.9 foot side yard setback variance from section 2510.10.2E in order to construct a new single-family dwelling 26 feet from the rear property line, 1.1 feet from the side property line, located at 811 Vine Street Northwest, property located in R3 single-family zone district.
Hey, I'm Ron Black. Address is 13451 Mooresville Road, Athens, Alabama.
All right, tell us what you would like us to do for you.
Well, we need those setbacks to get the house to fit on the property. We've adjusted the house as much as we can without having to go back and do a whole new drawing for the homeowner.
All right, questions from the board?
So there's no other floor plans possible? I mean,
Not with the square footage that they want. That's the issue.
but the lot is still the same size as it was when it was purchased, is it not?
Correct.
Okay.
All I know is that it was inherited, and they're moving from up north down here, and that's the size house they picked out while we're trying to get the variance.
Sure. The other house is located in an R3 zoning district. It has a side yard setback of 8 and 6. You're in compliance with the 8-foot, but this is the 6-foot side. So looks like you're building within 1.1 feet of the side property line. How would that piece of property be maintained with only a little bit more than 12 inches to get in between the two of them?
We just have to weed it down the side. I mean,
Well, that
this is
kind
my
of,
first one of these.
I'm trying to find out what is your hardship?
To what?
What's the hardship? Why can you not build a house that's in compliance with the zoning ordinance?
The square footage. I can't.
What size
They're-
is this
They're not
house?
wanting to go any smaller than what they're at.
Sure.
Which is what, roughly?
2,800, I think.
This is a big house.
We just had the drawings updated. Looking fairly. Hey, Mark, what's this total square footage?
It's 2,100 square feet, 20, including the garage, too, the garage in the front.
I tell you, my heartburn with this is not the rear setback, but it's being basically on the property line. Is how that could potentially affect someone in the next lot.
Yeah. Somebody
They
build.
own the next one.
Well, I mean, they could sell the next lot though, too, right? And someone could build a property line there, and then you've got a little bit greater than 12 inches someone's got to maintain. Mow, I guess that's enough yard for a weed to grow up in, or a tree, or whatever, with it not being maintained, with assuming a privacy fence there, which is a neighbor's right to put up, right?
Yes, sir.
Another option for them to consider, since they own both lots, would be to put in a request to have those two lots combined into one lot and build a house in between the two lots. But, I mean, there's nothing that says they couldn't sell that lot, and then, like I said, if somebody wants to put up a privacy fence,
Well, that was brought up, but they said that we had to re-subdivide it.
I guess it's not subdividing, it would be combining.
Consolidation.
Yeah.
To consolidate it, though, the way the surveyors were talking, it would have to go and be re-subdivided to have them both
Replant it.
brought in together.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a process that it has to go through.
Y'all also have a variance there for utilities going through the center of it as well.
So do they own,
Their father owns the house behind it and the two lots behind it, the property in the back of it, he owns that, where the grandfather in the two lots that they inherited from their dad were those two lots.
is it the lot, when you mentioned the utilities, so it's the lot in question and the lot to the right of
I think
it,
it's
off of
3
Vine
and 4,
Street?
I think it's 3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay. So then, yeah, that would shoot that. We were thinking it was 4 and 5.
If you had it consolidated, you would have to have that easement vacated, because then it would be one lot, and that wouldn't necessarily mean. Probably the reason that the utilities come off of Vine Street, like a drop, like there's a power line drop off of Vine Street, it doesn't come from the alley side, it comes from the front of the house
Yeah, it
side.
comes in the front.
That's probably why there's an 8-foot easement, so the utilities can get down and put power to the side of the houses. So if they consolidated the lots, and then said there's no reason to, have that easement there to bring over, the easement is then moved down to the next lot, that easement could be vacated, and then they could build a house twice as big as what they got almost.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's an option. It would just take time.
Right. All right, any other questions from the board? Comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
None other than what I said.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
Please call the roll.
Jeremy Goforth,
Aye.
Tom Ford,
No.
Chester Harris,
Yes.
Mark Curry,
Yes.
Elaine Dean.
No. So because you did not have 4 yeses, this did not get approved.
Okay, what do y'all suggest?
Smaller house.
Or you can
Or combining the 2 lots.
combine the lots.
Consolidate the lots.
They consolidate the lots and they could have basically as big a house as they want.
Given the area, I would advise to consolidate the lots, because if you'll run into the same problem trying to put 2 houses on 2 different lots. So I would consolidate the lots.
Especially knowing that Lot 5 is not owned by the same people, then I definitely would think there could be an issue with it being so close to the property line. You know, it's not 2 family lots, I guess is what I'm saying. Lot 5 is owned by somebody completely different. So that's just, I mean, that's right on top of the property line. Like I said, the back variance does not concern me as much. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but it's that
The side to side.
bumping right up to the property line that's the issue.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I said aye. She didn't vote no. I said you're.
I didn't know what you said.
All right, case number 4, application to a two-lot bank amount for a 32-foot rear yard setback variance, 25-10-10 2D, and a 2,081 square foot area lot variance from section 25-10-10 2A to construct a new family dwelling with a 0 feet from the rear property line located at 220 Clear Creek Drive, southwest property located on R3 single family residential.
Richard Humphrey, here at McNally, 310 Avenue, requesting these variances for a new single-family lot home. This lot, as it was originally developed, there is a FEMA floodway that runs over the rear portion of the lot. And basically the desire right now is to go through the process with FEMA to get a LOMAR approved so that the actual building pad itself where the house is going to be located can be removed from the floodplain so that they would not have to deal with flood insurance. The lot itself has already been filled to that level, but because of the floodway, we can't do any fill within the floodway itself. So that limits where we can place the fill, and also that limits what can be removed from the floodplain through the LOMAR process. So what we'd like to do is where this new lot line would run along the floodway, that shortens the lot up so much that if you apply the typical setback, there's really no buildable area left. But we can place a home on the lot back to the floodway line with the variances. I think the intention, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the intention is that whoever buys this lot will also have the opportunity to buy the remaining portion of the lot that's back behind. It will be in the floodway. That could be their backyard. They just couldn't put any structure in it because it's a designated mapped floodway.
Are you Stephen?
Daniel.
All right, the application is a Stephen, yeah.
He's my boss in Arkansas.
Okay. Ruth, do we need to,
So Stephen filled out the application, he's a representative for him, if he gets permission to speak, is who has to be the person here to present it. So can you get him to get on the phone with permission, I guess, for y'all?
That might be tough.
Because that's what goes out, and this is the name on, you know.
Oh, it's got NA.
It's actually filled in with NA instead of an A.
He's like the owner, he's the owner of our parent company, we're corporate guys, so. He just did it verbal.
Tell them that he gets permission to all this thing, that way.
Nobody let me know I was supposed to come.
He's up there, they're there.
He's in hospital. I mean, he tried calling Frank and Frank. He can't get him. He's gonna have to come over here. But don't they say that? But it's when they go, they give it to you, they don't send you anything, and then do it. Yeah, that's what I thought, because he was like, well, the planning department didn't know. Planning department didn't know. The funding for the department, right? And then they either approve it or decline it. Okay. I tried texting Junior, tried calling it. And Junior approved it, presented the Hey, where you at? You can make it up here to City Hall, can you? We can't. One of y'all has to be here. I don't. That's just. I can't say much because it's up here.
Has to be presented in public. That's why they have to be here. They have to present their case in
You
public.
have to present it to the zoning and adjustment. The building department turned it down, so now you have to come to us for a variance. But whoever filled the application out has to be here. Well, it's an appeal. So any variances have to come through us and we have to approve them.
They can't be no more than 2,000.
Yeah, how far away are you?
You have to swim to the house. Right here? Yeah. But they say it's doing it.
Let me see what I can do. Because we're done. We got one more. Well, when he filled it out, they give you a slip. Yeah, because they were.
That's the one I've got. Okay, all right, I'll try that.
Stevens in the office.
Variance meeting, Chair, do you think you could, walk down or is there maybe on call with it pretty quick? Cancel.
Good. He'll have some, please. To delay.
Yeah,
I told him.
He's on his way. I know they don't want to wait 30 days.
No, I just wanted to pull up right out there and then walk in.
Yeah, because it won't take long.
Fast.
I'm very nice. I knew that. People think I'm not. I don't understand. I get accused of being mean at work. Somebody's got to be
So
boss.
misunderstood.
But I'm not mean. Just the opposite. I'm too nice.
She's like, y'all just approve, y'all can approve, you gotta be there. I'm like, we can't just do that.
I guess mute us while we wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
And I was telling him to take us off the live feed while we
Hey, Steve, you're on speakerphone.
Stephen, if you'll state your name
Yes, ma'am. Stephen Leader, Roush Coleman.
and then give us permission to talk to either Pew Wright McAnally or Daniel Hudson, who I believe is your employee.
Daniel has permission to speak on behalf of Roush Coleman for the project.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I need. Thanks, Stephen. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. Well, and Daniel, you can talk, but you can now, as the representative, you can now allow them to talk as well. Okay. All right.
Do I need to talk or?
If you'll state your name and address just for the record, and then we'll let Richard talk some more.
Daniel Hudson, 1000 Emerald Way, Hartsville, Alabama.
All right. Tag, you're back in. All right, I guess questions from the board? I think you presented the case before you.
Questions for the board?
What size house would fit on a 2,000 square foot lot? Obviously not a very big one.
It's a 2-story. I believe it's 2,100 square feet, 2,200 square feet. I had some elevations and stuff.
Is that comparable to the other houses in this neighborhood?
Yeah, it'd be very similar to the other homes in this area.
Other questions from the board?
How did we get here?
Basically, this lot was, we knew about the floodway. The original developer, where we developed plans and then started construction, they have sold the project to Roush Coleman Homes. We have a new developer that has come in after the construction has already started on the project. With their homes, their desire is to basically eliminate any floodplain issues and elevation certificate and flood insurance requirements for their homeowners. So it's simply an issue of new developer and their standards for being able to sell a home without requiring any flood insurance.
Okay. Does this subdivision have any subdivision signs? I mean, are there any other dedicated lots for signage? And I don't know. I don't know if that's how this lot came about at one time or not.
There's a common area for the monument in the front when you come in, so that's the only thing we have for signage is that little common, this little landscape easement common area.
But it's not associated with this lot or near this lot, is it?
No, sir. No. Yeah, the reason for the variance will be flood insurance is a big deal for our homes. We build an affordable product that government-backed loans will not allow you to have any kind of flood on the property at all. So we don't want to limit the customers or home buyers that might not be able to get that sort of loan. So.
And when the development was designed, each of the lots it was designed such that each of the lots were filled, lot filler was brought into this development to raise those lots so that the floodplain would not be an issue. This one, the challenge is that floodway that cuts across the corner of the lot, because with FEMA regulations, we're not allowed to put fill in that without going through some very, very extensive engineering calculations and remapping and so forth. So the floodway line is what's limiting it.
So in the very beginning, was there the thought that there would be a house on this lot?
It was intended to be a house, and again, if you assume a house that would have the flood insurance and so forth with the original lot layout, the rear yard, the rear property line was farther back, so a setback would be required. But with the need to provide a lot that does not require flood insurance, that's what has pulled the rear lot line closer to the front, squeeze the lot, and hence the desire for the variance.
Right now, I've not heard a hardship. I heard one alluded to, Daniel, by you. I'd like to hear more about that. So why are you subdividing this property to eliminate the floodway? Why?
Okay, I couldn't hear the first part of the last part, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a hardship. I don't hear a hardship. I mean,
Okay,
this,
so the hardship-
this condition existed when you bought property.
Correct, that's correct. So the hardship will be, we're subdividing the floodway out of the lot. And then basically, we would like to be able to provide, we can't, a lot of our customers have government backed loans. So they cannot get a loan if that hits the floodway. Now, it was probably an oversight when we bought the property, honestly, and that's something of that nature. So we're trying to get the floodway out of it so we can provide that lot to customers of some sort, so, or homeowner.
So the hardship is the type of loan that
Correct.
the underwriter
Correct.
will
So
not
if
allow.
you go with the FHA loan or some other government loan, it will be, they require us, that homeowner cannot have any floodway on that property. So,
What will happen to lot 1B? What's the plan? Yeah, that's your,
That's the portion I mentioned.
yeah.
I think the intention right now would be that would be offered to whoever purchases 1A for their backyard.
correct. That would be unbuildable, obviously.
They would not be allowed to put a structure there because of the floodway, but it could be used as yard space.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, you have two lots with one, get one little free. It's a flood, so. I guess free, yeah. Just we're trying to accommodate for customers and homeowners that might not be able to afford those conventional lots.
Sure.
So that's kind of where we're at on that.
All right. Any other questions from the board? Comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
No comments.
Comments from the planning department?
You know that this is a huge setback. And I feel like we had another option probably out here. So, keep that in mind.
The plat been approved? Plat's been approved.
He said the plat has been approved, so it
The
has
plat.
been split into the two lots.
Yeah, the plat, as my understanding, has been approved by the planning commission.
And was that approved by the planning commission with the thought that there would be a house built on that front part?
They just read the line, they did not talk about construction or anything that they didn't approve the right plan.
I mean, my assumption would be they did that because they assumed something would be on that front part.
Any other reason?
So I guess it's a question for you, Bob. So nothing could ever be built in a floodway?
No.
And floodways don't go away with fill dirt or,
They go away with a lot of engineering. Yes.
which isn't likely to happen.
Well, then they'd have to move the floodway, which would,
Yeah.
they'd have to dig out on the other side, and there's a pile of engineering. I mean, it's
A lot
not
of
a cost
money.
of time and money, but it.
But highly unlikely.
I don't think that they're gonna put that kind of time and money into moving the floodway. Or redesigning it, or making it deeper, or putting in a pump station, whatever you'd have to do.
Right, no.
Kind of like they did with Starbucks.
Right.
You know, they engineered that to get it out of the floodway.
And that's why hardship can be financial. That's not uncertain.
I understand that. But a hardship can be the lot size and the building area to be in compliance of that lot size. It would be almost impossible to put a house in. All right, any other comments from the board, the public, the building department, or the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Don Pope,
Yes.
Chester Ayers,
Yes.
Mark Curry,
Yes.
Elaine Dean,
Yes,
Jeremy Goble.
Yes.
you have been approved. Oh, you're okay.
I think somebody else might thank you for that.
Please recall case number 2.
Back to case 2.
2.
Case 2, application Bill Francisco Hernandez for a 4.3 foot, 35-foot front yard setback variance from section 2510-2C, construct a new single-family dwelling, 35.65 feet from property line, located at 3705 Montclair Road, Southwest. Property located at 1801 Agricultural District. Frank, you're up. How y'all?
Hey there. If you will state your name and address and what you need from us.
Frank Hernandez, I live at 3325 Denver Road. And I'm here to ask for a 5-foot setback at 3705 Montclair, Southwest Decatur.
Sure, just asking for because the house is 50% constructed, she was asking, the corners were set at a 5-foot by the surveyor. They were all set. Did he set them wrong, Frank? Did the surveyor set them wrong?
Well, I don't know what happened in the process. There was a block survey done on the house and nobody caught it.
Okay. You're just asking for a 5-foot?
Yeah, it's actually 5 feet into the setback.
Into the variance, or into the setback.
But it's in compliance in all other ways. It's in compliance with the zoning ordinance in all other ways, I guess. That would be.
Yeah, because I don't see where it got. I don't see where it got in the corner. I think it's just a setback variance.
Yeah.
All right. Other questions from the board? Comments from the public? Comments from the building department? Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Chester Ayers,
Yes.
Mark Curry,
Yes.
Elaine Dean,
Yes.
Jeremy Goble.
Yes.
Don Pope.
Yes.
You have been approved. Sorry you had to fly down here, but it has to be done in person.
I mean, we didn't know about it. I mean, I'm not going to be here. I thought that all I had to do was just send in the application. I know where I'm going to be here, so.
It's good.
Thank y'all.
Do we have any other new business to discuss? And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. See y'all next month.